Hi all of you. So today we'll be doing the introduction for QGIS software. I'm sure most of you are using your GIS software for the first time. So I'll just start right from the setup. Okay. So I have shared this link. I think either me or Sri Lakshmi ma'am would have shared the link with you, where through this link you can download 3.4 version of QGIS. If you're downloading directly from your website, I would recommend that you don't download the latest version, because the latest version in an source is always under testing. There'll be a lot of updates and changes. So always download. If you're downloading directly from the website, download your stable version, okay, or this version. So after you download this, if you come to your system, it'll show in a folder like this. Your QGIS will be having a folder like this, and in this you'll be having number of desktops. The desktop, what I'm interested is QGIS Desktop 3.4.11 with GRASS 7.6.1. GRASS is an image processing software which is combined along with QGIS. In QGIS also you can do some amount of image processing, but GRASS is mainly used for image processing, and in QGIS you're doing mainly your GIS functionalities. You're dealing more with your vector data. So I'll open this interface. So in today's class, we will be doing the creation of point, line, and polygon. Okay. So I told you long-term release is always a better version for starters. Remember that in an open source software, it is free of cost. So a lot of people write their codes and keep it here, assimilate it here. So some codes may not require much of testing, but other codes require a lot of testing. And based on the testing usage of people, they change the codes to suit their requirement. So generally it opens like this, almost like this, because I'm using QGIS quite often, so I've got a lot of processing toolbox. This generally does not come. You have a browser from where you can select. You have a layers. This is mandatorily there on your left hand side. Your browser may or may not be there. Your layers is definitely there. You can see a list of functionalities here. So we are going to just, in your syllabus, only the basics are there. So I'm just covering the basics. The main function I'll be using here is a layer, okay, for adding layer, creating layer, etc. View, zoom in, zoom out. All these options are there. Layer. Now coming, so these and all. This is I am using all this. So you generally in your when you open it, you won't be finding all these things. In your open source software, there are a lot of for doing additional work, there are a lot of you need to download it from a third source. Okay, there will be a lot of codes written which has to be imported it here. Plugins, it's in the name of plugins. So you have to install plugins, which is small codes for doing your different jobs, like finding your area, finding a lot of functionalities you may have. So you need to download your plugins based on what is your requirement. Okay, and here you have a Python console also. If you want to have directly coding, you can code it also. Now here in my class, what I'm interested is, see the coordinate system. In QGIS, you have two coordinate system, or any GIS software. I won't say QGIS alone. Any GIS software has two coordinate system. One is your geographic, which shows your latitude and longitude, and the other is your projected. So you need to have a geographic. Any image need to have, I need to put the geographic coordinate first, and then I have to project it. The art of doing, or the process of converting a normal image to an image with your geographic coordinates is called as georeferencing. So once an image is given a geographic coordinates, you call it as a georeferenced image. So we are not going to do the georeferencing part. I am already having a georeferenced image, but I'll be showing you how to convert an existing georeferenced image to a projected image. This is your scale. You can move around this, magnifying, rotation, rendering, and here by default it shows what is a projection being used. So this keeps on changing if I'm using the projection. If I've got multiple layers here, it'll show the latest, the first one which is open. It'll be retaining the same information about your projection. Okay, so today's class we will be first, I told you earlier, we'll be creating points, lines, and your polygon. Your point, line, and polygon are your vector. Okay, so vector, when I say, it is to be created in your QGIS. So based on your vector data, from a raster data, you get a lot of vector inputs in the form of your, not input, sorry. You can create lot of vectors in the form of line, point, and polygon, which are further used and interconnected for lot of your analysis purpose. Okay, first, some of the examples what I can give is your Google Maps. Okay, your road network is all in terms of line. It is connecting different points and polygon, and then I can find the route. So today we're just going to do the basics of creation of point, line, and polygon. Now for that we require an image. Your image is called as a raster. Your raster, the best example is it has got lot of pixels like your normal photograph. It is a pixel data. Okay, you have number of pixels which defines the image. Okay, so your raster can be an image or it can be a satellite image too. So today's image is a topo sheet, which I think some of you are already familiar. You would have seen in your geology lab. So we'll be downloading a topo sheet, and I'll also show your georeference topo sheet. And from georeference topo sheet, for calculating, whenever we deal with vector, we always change the projection to your projected coordinate system. Well, there are a lot of new terms. In the class, I'll be discussing it further. Right now, I'm not explaining the terms in detail. Okay, so first I'll show you. So first, anything, if I want to start a project, I have to go to layer here. Okay, I can even go here or here. So layer, add layer. Okay, so add layer. I'm first adding your raster layer. So you get it like this. So here vector, raster, and then it'll ask for your file location. So I'm going to my file location. So you have to have downloaded your data. So you have to go over there. So I have downloaded in QGIS, data, raster data, and I'm first taking Kolhapur and then add. Okay. So you don't have to mention, you can just give OK here. Close. So this image, so this is the topo sheet of Kolhapur. So you have to zoom in. There's a lot of details of Kolhapur being given in terms of your road, river, okay, and your now these yellow places are where it is densely populated, etc. And you can see there is at the end your topo sheets very clearly show you what there's a very clear legend which shows you what are the different routes and areas, all these things. Okay. Um, and it shows a scale and it even shows a location. Okay, so this is location of any 43 to 44, and R, the scale is 1 is to 25,000, 100,000, 10,000, sorry, 1 is to 2.5 lakhs. Okay, okay, 1 is to 2.5 lakhs, that is a scale being used. And this sheet is your NE 4314. This referring also you would have learned in your geology lab. Okay, so this is image what we are, this is a topo sheet. So generally, primarily, you have your topo sheets, you have your cadastral map, your village maps, which should be the input from where I'll be, drawing your lines, polygons. So generally, your base map is an old map, okay, in the form of topo sheet, village maps, cadastral, a lot of maps. Okay, your topo sheets are there throughout India. Your Britishers have developed well-developed topo sheets, and it is updated every 10 years. Okay, so this, now if you see the coordinate here, it's a very random coordinate. Okay, it's a very random coordinate which is coming here. Okay, so this is not a georeference image, it's just an image. Like if you have a photo, you can bring the photo also over here, but it won't have any coordinates. Okay, so I have just an image. What I've got is, now this image has to be georeferenced. Okay, georeference is a procedure where I'm having the coordinates, so when I move around, it'll be showing your geographic coordinates here. So I'll just remove this. So to remove it, you just click on this, remove. So this is just to show, okay, this is any image can be brought into QGIS, but it has to be referenced to for us to make it into better use. So I'm just removing it. Why I'm removing it is because it'll take, if I have only the first sheet which is available, the coordinate system will be showing accordingly. Okay, so I'm just removing it. Okay. And now I am downloading here again layer, add layer. I'm going to raster layer. So here I'm opening my registered. Your registered is okay. Add, close. So here now you can see this is a georeferenced image of the topo sheet. The georeference is being done in QGIS itself based on your known coordinate system. The coordinates are written on the four corners. So based on that and taking points in between, I can draw my coordinates. So the coordinates is based on easting and northing. Longitude and latitude is given. Longitude is written first, latitude is given, and as you go you can see the it is the coordinates are changing. So this is a georeferenced map. So georeferenced map is required for my QGIS, and when I do any vector work I have to convert this into your projected coordinate system. Why I'm converting into projected coordinate system, it is to find your length area. Okay, if you remember your survey, your earth is round in shape, it has got ellipsoidal shape. Your projected coordinate system will flatten it, and there are different ways of projecting it. Some projections make the area same, distance same. There are a lot of projections, a lot of methods in which it is protected. So some preserve your area, some preserve your direction. So there are different this. So we are generally going to use your UTM for your projection. Okay, universal Mercator coordinate system. Okay, so here, so now this is a map. Now these are all your rivers, your okay contours are there. These are your drainage networks. Okay, so there are a lot of information, so I'm focusing on this information. This I'll be creating points for these three. I'll be drawing line connecting these three, and I'll draw the polygons. Now before I do that, this is my geographic coordinate. I have to convert into your projected coordinate system. For that, what you have to go, right click here, export, save as. Okay. So I go here, right click, export, I go to save as. So I have to give a file name. Okay. So if I want, I'm very particular about the location, I can give it here. So I'll just go to the same folder, QGIS. Okay, so QGIS. So where is QGIS? So in this, I'll have it outside. So I'll just name it Kolhapur projected. Okay. So these are all TIFF images. Okay. Your TIFF images are basically used in your GIS softwares. So save it. And then they'll ask you, this is your geographic coordinate system. I have to change it. I'll go here. And this here, I'm using my UTM. So in your UTM, it is divided into zones. Okay. I'll just show, UTM zones for India. So your entire world is divided into different zones. One second. Different zones, and our UTM zone are from 42 to 47. Okay. Otherwise, I've downloaded image over here, so I'll just explore that image. QGIS. Yeah, I have downloaded an image, so I'll just show you that. So your India. So in India, the entire world is divided into number of UTM zones, and India comes from 42 to 47. So your Kolhapur lies in UTM zone 43, and since it's northern hemisphere, I'll be inputting it as north. So if I give you a search, I'll get UTM zone 43. So I've typed it here. So it'll come north. I have to click on that. Okay. So I've changed my projection of this to projected coordinate system. Okay, and then okay. Okay, so if I open that, so it is being processed. Okay, it is being processed. So then I'll remove this registered one. Remove this layer. Okay, you can see it is still retain your old. The first sheet was your geographic coordinate system. It is still retaining that. So I'll do one thing. I'll remove it again and then bring it back. So add layer, add raster layer. So here I'll go. So I've got, I think where I save it. I think in QGIS projected, open, add, and close. So now you can see it is projected. The coordinate systems are changed. This is your projected coordinate system. Okay. So first I'll show you how to draw points. So I'll deal with this, Kolhapur, Sangli, Miraj. So I'll be creating points for this. So here again, I have to go to layer, in layer, create layer. And create layer, we'll be creating a shapefile, new shapefile. So the first thing they'll ask for name. So I'll give KOL point. Okay, and it's by default coming as points. Your projection also is showing your UTM zone 43. So number of fields. See, whenever I have any point, your QGIS in a vector, you have the spatial point, and for the point, I can have lot of attribute data. Your attribute data is in the form of your Excel sheet. Okay, you can fill lot of data about that point, like your name, your longitude, latitude, your location is your latitude, longitude, or how many people are in that area, population of that area, rainfall data. There's so many attributes I can fill, and generally the attributes are filled based on what is my study. If I'm doing the study for rainfall, I'll have a lot of rainfall inputs. If I'm doing for population input. If I'm doing anything related to COVID, I have an attribute table pertaining to that. So here what I'm giving, I'll just give the name, okay, as one attribute. By default, the ID will be first. It's there for everything. And so it is a text. Length is 40. Okay. And I'll just give, maybe one more parameter, maybe population. Okay. I have a choice, whatever. So population, it's not a text data. It is a whole number. So whole number I'm adding to fill-in. Now, whenever I insert this point, I need to input this data too. Okay, your name as well as your population. So after you do that, click on OK. Okay, so this point is ready. Now this I have to go for editing. I have to go for toggle editing here, or else I can give your editing here also. This pencil tool is for your editing, either here or here. I would prefer here, then you don't have any confusion which one you're editing if you have got more than one layer. So toggle editing, so this has been highlighted. Go over here where points are there, click on the point. So my first point I am clicking on is Sangli. So as soon as you click the point, they'll ask you the data. So the first I'm giving the ID as 1, name I'm giving it as Sangli, and then population I'm saying it is around 100 or 1000. Okay, so the first point is ready. Now second point, so second point, the ID is 2. I should make sure that IDs are not matching. So this is Miraj. I'm having a population, let's say 500. Okay, so this is a way you can create points. You can have more points here, I'll take Kolhapur itself. Okay, so I can create. So if suppose now I want to save it here. Okay, so I can save, click on save and click on this. So no longer edit. So if I want to add one more point, again, either go here or here. So this is chosen, add. This is ID 3. This is Kolhapur. The spelling is, yeah, H-A. Kolhapur. And my population, I'm saying it is 1,800. So it is very important you need to input correct data. If your data is not correct, you can't do any analysis. Your precision also is important. See, when it's a if I should know my parameter also well. Population, if I give an option of decimal, you'll get in decimal, which is not right. So it's very important, whatever attribute, how you define the attribute, as well as the information of the attribute is also important. Okay, so this is the way you are creating your points. So save edits, click here. So Kolhapur. So if you open here, if you open your attribute table, you can see all these things. Now I can add, I'm not adding any attributes here. The changes I'll do in one more sheet. So this is my, so if I want to add any attribute here, I can, go over here, add attribute table, I can have any output extra field. This is by formulas. I can have, there are a lot of conditions in which I can have formulas. And 1 second, I have to go to edit mode. Okay. Again, if I go to edit mode, I can add and delete. Can add a new field. Okay, so I have to give the name, all these detail, etc., and the field will be added, and then I can input it. So I'm not adding it right here. So this is how I'll be creating. So for everything, editing mode should be on. Off. The next, I'll show you how to draw a line. So again, go to layer, create layer, new shapefile. Now here I'll name it as coal, and let it be, write in short letters, coal line. I'm defining my roads. So this is not this is your line. So I'm marking this line, include. So for this, I want just a name. Okay. So the name, road name. I'll just mention, be very clear, road name. Okay, it's a text data, add to field list. I don't want any other thing. I'll later add it if I want it. Okay. And then, okay. So here again, I'll just, create two roads, one road. And whenever you have line, you have to zoom in, well to, actually mark the correct line. Okay, so here I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you how to do, but you have to really zoom in well, and then you have to mark it. Okay, so again, I go for editing, toggle editing here. So this will open. So I'm starting from this line. You can see a faint red line mark. Okay, so I'm just, connecting these two. I'm not actually connecting the points. I've just drawn a line from here to here, and then give a right click. Your right click will end it. One, I'll just give some name A, B, C. Okay, so you can see a faint line here. If I remove my projected, you can see a line being drawn. Okay, so I'll draw one more line. Okay, I'll just draw a random line. Okay, so I'll draw from maybe here to here. Okay, if you give Control Z, you can correct it also. Yeah, and then right click. So let this be X, Y, Z. So I've created two lines, but remember, in the actual case, you have to zoom in very well, okay, so that you are marking accurately as per your image. Here I have done very rough line work. Okay, so I'll just save my edits, close my edits. So if you open my attribute table, you can see two ID and road name. Now I want to add one more field. Okay, I want to know the length. So since it's already projected, my length will be calculated inside by default itself. I need to just add that field and give it as length. So I am giving toggle editing. Okay, every time it should be more. So here, new field I can create, delete field. And here there's an option of open field calculator. So I'm opening that field calculator. I want to have a new field. I can even update an existing field. So new field, I'll give it as road length. Okay, it's just coming to the, let it be a whole number, or I can say decimal also. Okay, this is. And here if you go, you have in your geometry, you have length. So double click on that. So this will throw out, dollar length will throw out the length. You can explore in this field. There are a lot of things you can do, a lot of conditions you can apply. You can explore the software. Since it's only your basics, I'm just going to the basics. So dollar L, I've created a new field called as road length. Okay, and here if any error is there, it will show you here there's an error. Okay, so you can see road length is created by default in your projected coordinate system. The unit is meter. So meter. So here it is 8,626.694 meter. Here it is 12,606. So by default it's meter. So this is how you create your line. And next coming to my polygon. So I'll close the edit here, stop editing, save the edits, and then and next polygon in similar fashion you can do. So I'll create two polygons. So again layer, create layer, new shapefile. So I'll have whole polygon. Okay, so these are your polygon. Let it be. So for polygon again I'll have one name. I don't want anything else. Okay, text data, add to field data. Okay, so I'll go to toggle editing. I can choose both. So here by default it is, polygon. The first feature will always come. Okay. If not, you can go toggle editing here. The correct feature, whichever you want to edit, it will come. So here polygon. So here also, whenever you're doing polygon, you have to really zoom in. Okay, I'm not zooming in so much, and it'll come like this. See. So if you click on Control Z, it's not working. I'll just see. Um, So I'll create the polygon. So the polygon is getting created like this. So once it's over, I'll give a right click. So they'll ask for the ID and the name here is Sangli. So I'll just type in Sangli. Okay. So I'll have one more polygon. So the polygon has come. I'll have one more polygon here. Let it be. Okay. So I repeat again. I'm just roughly doing it just for your understanding. When you're actually doing it, it is an art to actually mark your boundaries correctly. So this is 2, this is your Mirage. Okay, some capital letters. Mirage. Okay, so this is okay. So I have created 2 polygons. Now polygon you can calculate the area by the same way. I'll go here. I'm still in edit mode. Remember that I'm still in edit mode. So I'm opening the field calculator. Output file. I'll be telling area. I'm just telling area itself. Okay, so area. So here again area can be decimal. So if it is whole number, it will only show the whole number. So again go to your geometry, area. Just double click on area, it will show. Okay, so it will show the area of Sangli, how much I have done the polygon, and it will show your area for Mirage. By default, it is in meter square. So I'll save it. Oh, I didn't save it. 1 second. So area, I did some mistake over there, I think. Okay. Save it. Yeah. So this is my area. So I have created point, line, and polygon. And I told you how to calculate the length in a line when I have a line command, and how to calculate the area when you have the polygon command. Okay. So today we learned how to draw your point, line, and polygon. Okay. So I'll before I wind up, I'll just show you now. There are files being created. I think the files have not given a specific location, so I think it will be in documents. Yes. Now each file, now coming to polygon file or any file, it has got 6. Now coming to line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. They have got 5 files at the backup. Okay, your DBF file is for your attribute table, your PRJ is for your projection, your QPJ is for again for your projection, your shape dot shp is for your shape file, the geometry, and dot shx is for your spatial indexing. So whenever I'm creating one shapefile in GIS, there are by default minimum 5 to 6 files being created. So based on my usage, it will be either 5 or 6. So here 5 files are created at your backdrop. So with this, I come to the end of the class. Thank you.